Hello, League fans and potential Skarner fans, if there's any left, but personally I miss my kind and I don't think there's a whole lot of you left because this is the worst rework in the history of League of Legends across every champion, every rework, everything. Nothing is worse than Skarner rework. In the background, I have some of my gameplay from the Skarner PvE. I played a couple games after he officially launched, and I don't have much recent footage because I don't play the champion anymore, really. I'll pick him up a couple times, but that's about it because it was an awful rework. It's not as fun as old Skarner. It's not as engaging as old Skarner. It just, everything about this rework completely missed the ball. So let's kind of go over what makes a good rework and what Riot's goals were, and if they hit those goals, and then we'll kind of touch on the fun factor of old Skarner versus new Skarner, as well as kind of go over if they hit those goals. So first off, a champion is usually reworked if their kit is completely out of date or if they are super unpopular. Like, obviously, even if the kit is up to date, if there's a champion that is literally played maybe one game a year, they're gonna rework that champion. Obviously, that'll never happen, but you kind of get my point. If a champion isn't played, they're gonna rework it, and that's kind of what happened with Skarner. He was a bottom 3 pick rate champion, and so they reworked him. They put all this effort into him. They advertised him. He dominated pro play for a year, so he must be an insanely popular champion, right? No. I just noticed I also have an Alistar mid. Fucking goes hard. Anyway, no, he is one of the least popular champions in the entire game. I'm just kidding. He is the least popular champion. A year and a half after his rework, he is officially the least played champion in the game. Even if you could put all his roles together, he is not played. Now, why is that? Is he just nerfed? Well, he is. He's down to like 44% win rate. But that doesn't matter because we all know there's champions that have low win rates that are played constantly because they are fun. Is new Skarner fun? He's not. He is way too slow. Nobody loves slow champions, and it seems like his kit works against him. All the things that he wants to do no longer can get done. So let's go over what makes a champion fun. All right, I want you guys to think of your favorite champion. All right, for me, it's Karthus. Karthus is my original favorite champion. It's part of my holy trinity along with Vi and old Skarner. Those are my 3 favorite champions. With Karthus, every Karthus player can't wait to hit ult on a low target champion. That dopamine hit could last me for weeks, hitting like 3 people that are at 1 HP. With Vi, it's just getting on top of someone, hitting them with a Q, blasting Arcane in the background, and ulting them and beating the shit out of them. I love that. What is there to look forward to on new Skarner? His Q? Cool, you had to stop yourself to pick up a Q, pick up a rock, and now you're still slow as shit. And if you throw it, it doesn't even do a whole lot of damage, so you get punished for throwing it instead of just autoing. So, his W, it's a shield. He stomps the ground, it's a shield, doesn't really matter. After they nerfed him in top lane, that ability is nothing. What about his E? You can go through walls, you can stun people, that's really cool. It is cool. Except until you play against people that are decent, they can either avoid it, or you go against something like a Soraka, who just silences you. Or you go against a Thresh late game, where every single one of his CC abilities are on a 3-second cooldown and you can't move. Skarner has a massive mobility problem, which is funny because old Skarner, if you were full build, level 18, in your Spire, I believe he was the fastest champion in the entire game. Old Skarner was kind of a mix between Rammus and Udyr, where you had the speed and you can also 1v1 people and just be a bruiser and beat them up. New Skarner isn't about that. He is an incredibly slow champion. All his fun points can be easily countered. You look at the ult. With old Skarner, it was the ult. I loved flashing in the middle of 6 people. Oh my god, Skarner fight. I loved flashing in the middle of 6 people, 5 people, snagging one and pulling them back into a team of 5. Now you might think, oh, you could still do that on Skarner. You can get people and then go right back at them. You can, but the fact that his ult has this weird cone shape skill shot, and the fact that it can be easily dashed out of or flashed out of, just makes the champion so unfun. So it's like you have 2 fun points, the E and the ult, and both can be easily countered. So you can be in a game where every single minute you're trying to do these things and it's just not fun, not fun, not fun. With Vayne, it doesn't matter if you're 0-10, you can still tumble around like a goober, you can still chase people down with your ult. All of these champions still have their fun points. Skarner's just gets absolutely nuked. So that's my problem. with the current Skarner is that it completely diverged away from what his rework was intended to be, where they took away every bit of his identity and they made him into a generic tank that is not fun to play. Now you might be thinking, but pro players were playing him, everyone was playing him. Yes, because he was OP. Pro players will just play whatever is OP. They do not care about fun. They do not care about, oh, does this kit work together? No, they care, is this the best champion for this comp? Okay, cool, I'll play it. I don't care how fun it is. I don't care how, niche, I don't care. I will play what, so I don't take pro players' opinions seriously. Not opinions, but I don't take them playing a champion as a sign of a good rework. And now, the thing that kind of tilts me the most about this Skarner rework is, so they rework Skarner because he's unpopular. Totally fair. He becomes popular, but since he's so OP in pro play, you nerf him down to 42 to 44% win rates, so now you have a freshly reworked champion that you gutted. Now nobody's playing it, and he's the least popular champion. Yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense. Now you might think, oh, but he was OP in pro play, like he was ruining pro play, he was everywhere, he was dominating. Here's my thing. If a champion is so busted that you have to nerf it down to near 40% just to get it out of pro play, maybe a hot take, I think they should remove champions from pro play. I would like to see a champion like Skarner be globally banned. They can buff him up to 48 to 50% win rate, and they don't have to worry about him dominating pro play, because I don't like the idea of completely destroying a champion just to fix pro play, because you want him out anyway. They openly said they want Skarner out of pro play, so just ban him. You get the best of both worlds, except in your solution, now the champion's useless for everyone. So it's like, I don't get this logic, especially on a freshly reworked champion. Everything about this is awful. So going into the final point, what would I change? There are 3 core changes that I would make to Skarner that I believe would make him more balanced at a pro level while also making him more fun. Okay, so my main goal of Skarner, if I were to kind of adjust current Skarner, because there are some points I really like about new Skarner, don't get me wrong, but the number one thing that they ruined when it comes to old Skarner versus new Skarner is the fact that they completely removed his movement speed. He used to be the fastest champion in the game. He's now one of the slowest champions, if not the slowest. Maybe Yumi's slower, God forbid. So the first change I would make is his Q currently, you have to stop to pick it up. If I was in charge, I would make it so you could pick up the rock while moving. That is completely fine. You can nerf some numbers if you need to, but I believe that is the best change without a doubt. So that's change number 1. You can pick up the rock while moving. Number 2, they need to rework his E. So either revert it back to the old E, where it gives a shield still, but instead of going through walls, it just makes him fucking zoom. Give it like a 200% movement speed, where it's kind of like Blitzcrank. You just fucking zoom. So rather than going through a wall, you have to go around the wall, but you're moving faster than any other champion in the game. But I know they want to keep the going through the wall, so my suggestion would be either remove the stun at the end and add like a 90% slow. So they're basically still stunned, but they could still use abilities, they could still flash, stuff like that. Or add something where if you don't hit anything at the end, you get like a 50% movement speed buff. So you kind of get that movement speed and you can zoom. And, as you can see, these 2 changes so far are about bringing that movement speed back to Skarner, making him dashing around the map, making him fast. And the third change that I would make, which I think is the most popular one, might be controversial, I don't give a fuck, revert the alt. You could scrap my other 2 changes. If they added the old alt back to new Skarner, I would play this champion again, and I would play no other champion ever again. The old alt was perfection, it was fun, it was game winning if you did it properly. The new alt is a giant cuck fest, where you flash in, you use your ult, and everybody uses their dashes, or they flash, or you get silenced, or some shit happens. It's not fun. It's not engaging. You have to invest so much just to get a decent ult off for a champion that's already boring as shit. So those are my 3 changes of what I think would fix Skarner, and the secret 4th one is just revert them back to the old Skarner, or just keep new Skarner and old Skarner. Let them battle it out. Fuck it. Who cares? So those are my thoughts on current Skarner versus new Skarner. As you guys can see, this is a brand new channel. Nothing would mean more to me than if you guys could like the video, subscribed. I do want to start making more of these videos, so if you do like it or you have feedback for me, or if you have comments on the current state of Skarner, put them down below. I'm always on YouTube. I'll be able to see all your comments. Or if you just want to call me a goober that has no idea what he's talking about, you can make fun of me that way as well. I'm totally fine with that. And if you guys do want to catch me live, I do stream every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at twitch.tv/SakoraSC2. I'll have it linked down below. I can't wait to see you guys there. Godspeed, stay safe, and yes, I do miss my kind.